Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Senator Baldwin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Bradbury, to meet and have discussions prior to this hearing. I wanted to mention that during Secretary Duffy's hearing, I asked him about the Department of Transportation's finalized rule to discontinue manufactured products general waiver. We talked about Buy America standards and rules when we met. To discontinue this waiver that had been in place for 40 years and has allowed the Federal Highway Projects Administration to sidestep Buy America rules. It is a straightforward idea. When we use taxpayer dollars to build infrastructure, we should be using American products, and we should be supporting American small businesses and workers. So I asked Secretary Duffy for his commitment on following through on this Buy America rule, and I want to ask the same of you. Are you committed to implementing this final rule as written?
Oh, yes, I am. And I think the President will have a strong emphasis on Buy America, as will the Secretary. We did in the previous administration, and I would expect that to be even redoubled. With this rule change, we now include engineered products in the Buy America requirements. And we need to be candid, that's going to present some challenges. But I welcome the opportunity to discuss with you yesterday the example that you gave of being proactive and actually going to those foreign manufacturers where there are instances where there's no other option available and getting them to invest in the U.S. to support jobs and businesses in the U.S. And that's exactly what the Buy America requirement is designed to achieve. We have to work very, very hard at it, but I think we're going to be committed, and we're not going to be granting waivers left and right.
That's very important to hear, and it is about job creation here in the United States, bringing jobs that we've lost back and keeping many here. On the topic of safety, I want to reference something that the ranking member noted in her opening comments. I'm concerned about that record at the Department of Transportation when you were last there. In 2019, our committee opened an investigation into the crashes of the two Boeing 737 MAX aircrafts that killed 346 people. You led the Department of Transportation's Office of General Counsel at that time when Chair Wicker's staff compiled evidence, and it suggested that you intentionally withheld relevant information requested by the committee. And I'm quoting from the report, and improperly redacted information in produced documents, hindering the committee's oversight investigation. Chair Wicker's staff report concluded that the level of cooperation by FAA and DOT was unacceptable and at times bordered on obstruction. This is cited in a Republican report. So how can we trust that you are the right person for this job when it sounds like you weren't the right person in your previous job at the Department of Transportation?
Well, I appreciate the question, Senator, because I really would like an opportunity to respond on this point. The department went through what was the most intensive set of investigations, I think, probably in the history of the department with regard to the 737 MAX disasters. I think it was completely appropriate. It wasn't just the Senate Commerce Committee, it was also the House T&I Committee at the same time. The FAA was inundated with requests, and I believe the Secretary Chow made the right decision that it was important for the Office of the Secretary to ensure that there was a full and efficient response to those oversight requests. So what we were doing was attempting to facilitate the response to the oversight requests, not impede them, not block them or stonewall the requests.
I'm going to have to cut you off there because I do have a couple of additional questions, but you can more fully answer if you would like in writing after the hearing. I want to just ask a series of yes or no questions. Yes or no, do you support privatizing the air traffic control system?
This is not
Yes or no?
something, this is not something I'm going to propose or push to the
Okay.
Secretary.
Do you support eliminating or defunding the essential air service?
As I've discussed, no.
Do you support reforming or repealing the Jones Act?
No.
Do you support eliminating federal discretionary grants at the Department of Transportation?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Schmidt.